Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. A mercenary group has been intercepted by security forces in the Mean system. It is understood that the mercenaries' primary target was Phoenix Base, home of the engineer Ramtar. Li Yongrui, CEO of Sirius Corporation, said the attack demonstrated the precariousness of Ramtar's situation. In related news, security forces in Mean are launching an operation to capture enemy agents. Security Chief Harper Vergas said his forces intended to detain any surviving mercenaries and interrogate them, so they could identify the individuals behind the incursion. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Inspector Ramesh Thorne, who has been leading an investigation into the Mars Tribune, has been suspended from the Federal Security Service. The news came less than an hour after Thorne made a public appeal for information regarding admin robots fitted with secret surveillance programs, citing the unwillingness of his superiors to pursue the matter. The isolationist group Nova Imperium has broadcast a message to Imperial citizens. The organization's leader, known only as the Imperator, implicitly criticized Emperor Aris Alavani Deval for weakness, and said that the Empire would only survive the Thargoid onslaught by severing ties with the other superpowers. The family and colleagues of author Olav Redcourt have reported him missing. A police investigation has so far failed to determine his whereabouts. Redcourt recently hit the headlines when he terminated his relationship with his publisher, Bonespire Publishing, midway through a promotional tour. Finally, authorities in the Geras system have confirmed that the conflict between Geras First and Nuduzent State Incorporated has come to an end. Both factions received support from independent combat pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised, but in the end there could be only one victor. And those are the main stories this week. A warning from the Imperator. The isolationist group Nova Imperium has broadcast a message to Imperial citizens via public media. The organization's leader, known only as the Imperator, said, "Imperial citizens, your ruler's weakness has put you in great danger. If we are to survive the Thargoid onslaught, we must sever ties with the Federation and other, inferior powers, and concentrate on protecting our own systems. I call upon those who care about their imperial birthright to support Nova Imperium. We vow to restore the Empire's purity and strength, and to lead it into a glorious future." Senator Denton Patrios responded with the following comment: "These extremists and their seditious agenda are not worthy of attention. So far we have been lenient with them, but this so-called Imperator would be wise not to test our patience any further." Conflict in Geras ends. Authorities in the Geras system have confirmed that the conflict between Geras First and Nuduzent State Incorporated has come to an end. Both factions received support from independent combat pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised, but in the end there could be only one victor. Independent journalist Onal Varden offered an analysis: after a week of furious fighting, the Geras system is now eerily quiet. Ultimately only one side could be victorious, but this uneasy peace has come at a great and dreadful cost. Pilots who participated in the conflict can now collect their rewards from Yurchikin Port, in the Geras system. Recover escape pods in Mean. Following a skirmish with a group of mercenaries, security forces in the Mean system have launched an operation to capture enemy agents in order to investigate the attack. Security Chief Harper Vergas of the Mean Defense Force gave the following statement: "The mercenaries were targeting Ramtar's Phoenix base, but it's clear they were just hired hands. We need to recover as many surviving mercenaries as we can and interrogate them, so we can find the real culprits." The independent HIP 29241 Green Party, which is overseeing the initiative, has asked pilots to recover both occupied and damaged escape pods, and to deliver them to Felistock in the Mean system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those contributing to the recovery can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 8th of November 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. FSS agent suspended. Lieutenant Inspector Ramesh Thorne, who has been leading an investigation into the Mars Tribune, has been suspended from the Federal Security. FSS released the following statement: "We have suspended Lieutenant Inspector Thorne from active duty, effective immediately. His investigation is officially terminated." The announcement came less than an hour after Thorne made the following public appeal: We have evidence that the admin robots fitted with surveillance programs are connected to exclusive stories obtained by the Mars Tribune. Since my superiors are unwilling to pursue this, I am appealing to anyone with relevant information to come forward. I can guarantee them immunity from prosecution. Many media, including Lena Ravenhill, chief editor of the Federal Times, reacted with outrage to the news. It's clear that someone in the FSS is feeling threatened, and that the Mars Tribune has used spy robots to feed the scandals it thrives on. We are highlighting Ramesh Thorn's appeal, as are many other news feeds taking a stand against corrupt journalism. Mercenary incursion in Meen. A mercenary group has been intercepted by security forces in the Meen system. Security Chief Harper Vegas of the Meen Defense Force reported, 6 hours ago, our forces were attacked by a small fleet belonging to a known mercenary group. Fortunately, we were able to defeat them before they could do serious damage. There is no doubt that the mercenaries' primary target was Phoenix Base. We suspect that this incident is connected to an attempted raid on the base that was repelled a few weeks ago. Lee Yong-rui, CEO of Sirius Corporation, addressed the incident. I'm relieved that the attack was foiled, but this only demonstrates how precarious Ramtar's situation is. I urge him to accept my offer to work with the Sirius Corporation. Guardian Human Technologies. Spy robot investigation redirected. The Federal Security Service has abruptly terminated its investigation of the Mars Tribune regarding personal administration robots fitted with hidden surveillance programs. Although interviews with Tribune employees were underway, it has been alleged that a senior figure in the FSS ordered the task force to focus elsewhere. The Tribune's owner, billionaire Kingsley Cordova, stated, "I'm pleased that our renaissance has been accepted, and I'm confident that the guilty parties will soon be found." An opinion piece in the Federal Times from chief editor Lena Ravenhill took an alternative view, however. Last week, Cordova suggested the spy robots could share the many secrets they've gathered, and suddenly the FSS is ordered to leave the Mars Tribune alone. Does anyone really think this is coincidence? How many powerful people are frightened of what Cordova might reveal about them? Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. The investigation into the death of Alliance presidential candidate Fazia Silva has concluded with no convictions. Alliance Interpol confirmed that Silva's death was a homicide, but said that all avenues of investigation had been exhausted. Tashmira Silva has now assumed control of her late sister's corporate empire. A radical group called Nova Imperium is gaining influence throughout the empire. The organization claims that to survive the Thargoid conflict, the empire must sever contact with all other systems and concentrate on protecting itself. Many traditionalist citizens, unhappy with recent cross-superpower cooperation, have embraced the group's rhetoric. Meanwhile, the engineer Ramtar has rejected an offer from the Sirius Corporation to support the manufacture of Guardian human technology. In a statement, Ramtar said the technologies were too important to become corporate products, and reaffirmed that using tech brokers to distribute the designs allowed them to be widely available. In other news, the Federal Security Service has abruptly terminated its investigation of the Mars Tribune regarding personal administration robots fitted with hidden surveillance programs. It has been alleged that a senior figure in the FSS ordered the task force to focus elsewhere. Recent reports from the Geras system indicate that after a spate of reciprocal attacks, hostilities between Geras First and Naduzin State Incorporated have escalated into all-out war. The warring organizations have issued calls to independent combat pilots for support. Commanders who participate in the conflict will be generously rewarded by their chosen faction. Finally, Senator Caspian Leopold has announced that his appeal for aid has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community. A spokesperson for the senator said that a humanitarian crisis had been narrowly averted, while assuring refugees at Leopold's rehabilitation center that new homes would be found for each and every one of them. And those are the main stories this week. Ramtar rejects Sirius Corp. The engineer Ramtar has rejected an offer from the Sirius Corporation to support the manufacture of Guardian human technology. In a public statement, he said, "These technologies, developed using principles discovered by the Guardians, are too important to become corporate products. I have no doubt that
Lakon Charlie, Oscar Papa. Federal Flight Control is in operation at this surface port. Observe docking reservation protocols. 6.
sure you follow docking clearance protocols and have a good stay. Surface vehicles may only enter authorized vehicle bays. All docking bay garages are closely monitored for your safety. This is a flight regulation reminder. In order to avoid prosecution, all bounties must be cleared before approaching this facility. Be aware of surface-based traffic when traveling to and from this port. Use the authorized transit corridors only. Welcome to our port. Avail of our wide range of services and enjoy your stay. This terrestrial port takes a zero-tolerance approach to criminal activity.
Touchdown. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
This port is equipped with automated defense systems. Individuals who tamper with these systems will be targeted by federal security forces.